watching Let's Chat.
We're glad to have you back here with us as we continue with Let's Chat on this Tuesday morning. We've covered the bases on tacos. We're partway through our steak discussion where you want to make sure and put enough salt on it. And as Jim said a moment ago, when you put it on the grill, a lot of that is simply going to fall off. All right, Jim, same question goes. What about pepper? Do you use the whole peppercorn, ground pepper, black pepper, white pepper? It seems like there's just a ton of choices. What is the one Big Jim prefers?
I like it coarse, or you could say it's a restaurant grind, not cracked. You can use cracked if you like it. I mean, you can in crust. It depends on your personal. White pepper is a little more spicy, has a little more bite to it. But I prefer black pepper when it comes to steak and beef like that. So it's more of a coarse grind, not a crack. If you get the ground pepper, it becomes that same thing. It becomes that more dense, and you'll end up getting a little clumpy places or whatever, and it sticks directly to that where it can be a little spicy or a little hot for some people.
I have heard you say before also, you want to make sure and let meat of all sorts, especially beef, come to room temperature before you put it on the grill. Why is that?
I just kind of generally like to get stuff going, so I'll season it, get it going, and then I'll go out and get my grill lit. It just seems to basically help that adhere. You can use a little oil or olive oil or whatever your favorite thing is to do that, but I just kind of like to let it come up. It kind of cooks a little quicker that way, and you just get a better sear on the outside for me. I'm not exactly. It's just a habit for me. I don't know exactly why.
That's okay. It works.
It's just a habit for me. I just have a routine when I go do stuff, and again, it falls into that. Why does it end up the way it does? Is because you do it the same way every single time. I probably got that from the competition circuit. Is you need to replicate that every time.
All right. Now, what's the one mistake most people make when they are grilling a good cut of beef? A moment ago, we had the picture of the tomahawk ribeyes, and those things are heavenly. I mean, literally, they're to die for when you do them right. What's the one mistake that most people do when it comes to cooking a steak like that?
They bring it right in the house and cut it.
What's the importance of letting it rest? Overcooking is certainly one of them.
Well, sure. Overcooking is, if you're cooking it till it's done, it's overcooked. So it will come up a few degrees after you finished it. But the biggest mistake is not letting it rest. And the second you cut it, you'll know it. It's juices running everywhere. And I just use a rule of thumb is I bring it in, I start getting everything else ready, and I let it sit. And if I touch it and it's still just piping hot, it's not ready to cut. And you will see it render some juices on your tray. And get some grilling trays. You can use a plate, but there are so many really nice grilling trays that are two-fold. I use these that are, one's red, one's black, so you carry out raw, and then when you put the raw on the grill, you flip it over to the black one, so you know that's a cooked, and that just saves you some time. But it will render some juices, and you'll see it once it does that. Give it some time to rest. I mean, it depends on the thickness of the steak. Like those tomahawks, man, they're monsters. I mean, the pictures you saw of them, they're huge.
And they're delicious.
Now, they're delicious too. You've had them. We cooked them at the zoo together, and so. But if you reverse sear, you don't have to let it rest. So that's a whole nother. That would be a whole nother session there.
We need to do a segment on the reverse sear process. I've tried it before, and it works great, especially if you're not super grill experienced. It does work just fabulously.
It is a really, I was not a big, I don't like to do oil, but I started doing it the last 8 or 10 months, and I am a huge proponent of reverse sear just for, man, the flavor I get out of those tomahawks. I mean, I don't know if I sent him the pictures of those or not, but I've got some hanging up in a drum smoker where I just smoked them for a little bit, then pulled them off and seared them, and the pictures I know are some of those. They are phenomenal. The flavors it takes it to a whole nother level. So you get that smoky, but you still get that medium rare, medium flavor. And but when you reverse sear, you do not have to wait. You're basically done. So when you pull that thing off from searing it after you've reverse seared it, you can go right into it, eating it like a popsicle if you need to. But
Boy, I'm telling you,
we
and
try,
I have.
we try to share a little bit.
Can we brag on some of the folks that you feed as a matter of routine, or should we stay away from that?
No. We feed some really healthy fellas that play pro football, and the offensive line guys who never get any praise, they always get beat up on because the quarterback gets sacked or whatever. So we've been to Tennessee to feed some guys. We've been to Alabama to feed some guys. We take care of our boys here in Atlanta sometimes, and they can eat quite a bit, and they love their beef too. So yeah, they're big fans of beef.
And Jim will travel and cater your event. And Jim, we're up against the clock. We got to run, but thanks for sharing some time and some of your expertise. We'll have you back here in a few weeks. Jim might get aggravated with me for saying he's talking about the Atlanta Falcons or the Tennessee Titans or what have you. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Jim, make it a great day. Grilling season is here. If you want to find out how to get Jim to do your next event, go to Bare Knuckles BBQ.com. That's Bare Knuckles BBQ.com. Jim, we'll see you back here in the coming weeks, and we'll see you on the other side of this quick commercial break.